You haven't had a drink in almost 2 days. Your lips have started to crack. Your throat burns with every breath. Then, you hear it, the sound of flowing water. You push through the trees, and there it is, a beautiful river. The water looks crystal clear, cold, fresh, perfect. You kneel beside it, cup your hands, and drink. It feels like life itself. But by tomorrow, you could be dead. Not because the water looked dangerous, not because it smelled strange, but because 50,000 years ago, the deadliest thing hiding inside that river couldn't be seen. No warning. No color, no taste, no smell, just one wrong drink, and your story could end before anyone understood why. So here's the question. If ancient humans had no microscopes, no laboratories, and no idea that bacteria or parasites even existed, how did they survive for hundreds of thousands of years? The answer isn't what most people think, because this isn't just the story of water. It's the story of how humanity learned to fight an enemy it couldn't even see. Today, drinking water is almost effortless. You turn a tap, fill a glass, take a sip. You rarely stop to wonder if it's safe. But for almost all of human history, every drink carried a question. Would it save your life, or quietly take it away? That's because prehistoric people didn't die only from predators, or freezing winters, or starvation. Sometimes, the greatest danger was hiding in the very thing they needed most: water. Imagine two rivers. Both are clear, both are cold, both seem identical. Yet one keeps your family alive. The other slowly makes everyone sick. How could anyone possibly tell the difference? They couldn't. At least, not at first. Ancient humans had no words for bacteria, no concept of viruses, no idea that tiny parasites could live inside perfectly clear water. To them, a river either looked safe, or it didn't, and appearances were often deceiving. A dead animal could be lying upstream, completely out of sight. Heavy rain could wash waste into the water without leaving any obvious sign. Tiny parasites could be drifting through the current, completely invisible. You could drink from the same river you've trusted for weeks, and suddenly, people begin getting sick. First comes the stomach pain, then the vomiting, then the fever. Some recover, others never do. Now imagine trying to solve that mystery without science. How do you fight an enemy you can't even see? The answer began with something humans have always done better than almost any other animal. They watched, they remembered, and slowly, they started noticing patterns that would change humanity forever. But those patterns didn't come easily, because nature had one more cruel lesson to teach. Sometimes, the cleanest looking water was the most dangerous of all. Imagine you're the first person in your tribe to notice something strange. The people who drink from fast-moving streams seem to stay healthy more often. The ones who drink from stagnant pools don't. You don't know why. You can't explain it. But after seeing it happen again and again, you stop calling it luck. You call it experience. This may have been one of humanity's greatest discoveries, not because ancient people understood germs, but because they learned to recognize patterns. A spring flowing from a mountainside often tasted cleaner than a muddy pond. Water that moved was usually fresher than water that stood still for days. After heavy rain, a familiar river could suddenly become dangerous. None of these were guaranteed rules, but they increased the odds of survival, and sometimes, better odds were all you had. But observation alone wasn't enough, because nature had a cruel habit of breaking its own rules. Crystal clear water could still carry parasites. A calm spring could become contaminated by a dead animal far upstream. Even the safest looking stream could suddenly turn deadly. So what did ancient humans do when their own eyes could no longer be trusted? They started looking somewhere else, at nature itself. For thousands of years, humans shared the landscape with animals that depended on the same water. Birds, deer, wild horses, even predators. People watched where they drank, and where they didn't. If a herd ignored a stagnant pool, someone probably noticed. If animals returned to the same spring every season, someone remembered. Nature became a guide, but not a perfect one. Some animals can safely drink water that would make humans dangerously ill. Others carry parasites without showing obvious signs of sickness. Following wildlife could help, but it could also become a deadly mistake. Ancient humans eventually realized something important. No animal, no river, and no single trick could guarantee safety. There had to be another way. Their greatest advantage wasn't sharper eyesight or stronger bodies. It was something far more powerful: memory. Every mistake became a lesson. Every lesson became a story. Imagine an elder sitting beside the fire as children listen in silence. Don't drink from that pond after the first rains. Follow the stream higher into the hills. Never camp where the water smells strange. Those weren't just stories. They were survival instructions. No books, no maps, no written language. Only memories passed from one generation to the next. If someone discovered a safer spring, the tribe remembered. If an entire family became sick after drinking from a certain place, the tribe remembered that too. Knowledge became more valuable than food, because food could feed you for a day, but the right knowledge could keep your children alive for generations. Then something happened that changed everything once again. Humans learned to control one of nature's most powerful forces, fire, and for the first time, they unknowingly discovered a way to make dangerous water far safer. But that breakthrough came with a problem of its own, because there were times when there wasn't enough water to boil in the first place. Fire changed almost everything. At first, it gave humans warmth, then protection from predators, then the ability to cook food. But without realizing it, our ancestors had discovered something else. Heat could make dangerous water safer. They didn't know boiling killed bacteria. They didn't even know bacteria existed. What they did know was much simpler. People who heated water before drinking sometimes got sick less often. Not always, but often enough to remember. And that's how many prehistoric discoveries were made. Not through science, but through survival. One small observation, repeated, remembered, passed to the next generation. But boiling wasn't always possible. Sometimes there wasn't enough firewood. Sometimes the tribe had to keep moving. And sometimes the real problem wasn't dangerous water. It was having no water at all. Imagine walking beneath a burning sun. The rivers have dried into cracked mud. The nearest spring is gone. Your children can barely stand. Then, someone finds a shallow pool. The water is brown. Insects cover the surface. Animal tracks surround the edge. Everyone knows it could be dangerous, but waiting for cleaner water could mean dying of thirst. What would you choose? Risk the water, or risk another day without it? That wasn't a rare decision. For countless generations, it was part of everyday life. Sometimes the safest choice was simply the one that gave you a chance. When water disappeared completely, people adapted. Some followed migrating animals to hidden springs. Others collected rainwater whenever storms arrived. In colder regions, snow and ice became temporary lifelines. Entire groups often moved with the seasons, not just to find food, but to stay close to reliable water. Water didn't simply shape where people drank. It shaped where people lived, where children were born, where camps were built, and where entire cultures began. Today, archaeologists continue discovering ancient camps beside rivers, springs, and seasonal lakes. Anthropologists studying modern hunter-gatherer communities have also found that many still rely on generations of inherited knowledge to choose water sources. The details differ from place to place, but the pattern remains remarkably familiar. Observe, remember, teach. That may have been humanity's greatest survival strategy, because our ancestors didn't survive by being the strongest. They survived by learning a little more than the generation before them. The next time you pour yourself a glass of clean water, it's easy to forget how extraordinary that moment really is. You don't check for parasites. You don't wonder whether an animal died upstream. You don't gamble with every sip. For almost all of human history, someone had to. Every safe drink you enjoy today rests on thousands of years of human observation, hard lessons, and knowledge passed from one generation to the next. The story of clean water isn't really about water at all. It's about one of humanity's greatest strengths: our ability to learn, remember, and help the next generation survive. If you enjoy uncovering the forgotten survival stories of our ancestors, subscribe to Tiny Ancestors. Every week, we explore the real archaeology, science, and remarkable decisions that shaped human history. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next journey into humanity's distant past.